Every society has its belief system, what you want to call religion, and especially traditional societies. Central to this belief system is the shrine. The shrine sits on holy ground. It symbolizes what the people believe in and what they stand for. And they are communing with their God or their gods. In the body politic of this country, Bomas is a shrine. It stands for our struggles and symbolizes the pain and the birthing of a new constitution. This is a place Kenyans have gone to examine their governance, to look at the social contract, look at where the constitution has failed them, and try to come up with a new charter for the country. And therefore, I must be understood when I say that Bomas to us is a shrine. As usual with shrines, they sit on hallowed grounds, on holy grounds. And therefore, the last place you want to take games, especially childish games, cleverness, tricks, is a shrine. Today, the people of this country are witnessing shenanigans at Bomas in the name of examining our national charter. I said before that the way Bomas was conceived, and by Bomas I mean the so-called bipartisan talks, NADCO, I don't know what NADCO means, National Dialogue Committee. The way it was conceived, I did say it looked to me to be a smokescreen. That perhaps two people, Raila and Ruto, had agreed on something. And they used Bomas in a clever way to buy time and peace to hoodwink Kenyans and other participants in Bomas. That seems to be coming to pass. As it were, the sort of issues that are being raised in Bomas, at Bomas, cannot be handled by NADCO. I equate NADCO, the bipartisan arrangement, to a garage in somebody's home, designed for one or two small cars. But we are being told as Kenyans, you can drive a big truck, a trailer, and pack it into the garage. The things that are coming up at Bomas, the issues from civil society, from church, from individual Kenyans, Githu Muigai, other Kenyans, Samson Cherargei, Nandi senator, who says we need 2 7-year terms instead of 5. And other suggestions, including 10 or so extra counties, cannot certainly be accommodated at Bomas as currently constituted. And therefore, we seem to be playing shenanigans in our national shrine. I said before, the moment Kalonzo Musyoka and his team allowed to be cheated, to be driven into parliament, enticed by allowances, that if we want these talks to be sponsored by government, if we want government money to be used during these talks, which is euphemism for if we want allowances for ourselves, then we have to take this thing to Parliament. So that when it is operating under the law, then we can draw money from Parliament, and if need be from the Exchequer. The moment they were allowed themselves to swallow that trick, many things became out of bounds. I said, and I want to repeat here, for example, Bomas cannot audit last year's elections. Bomas cannot question, NADCO cannot question William Ruto's legitimacy of victory, which was at the core of the struggle. That the people went to the streets and many people died and were maimed. Others lost properties. Why? Because they were fighting for fair elections, for justice, for electoral justice. So many lost their lives and property because they were contesting what they believed was a stolen election. That issue of a stolen election cannot be discussed by NADCO, because NADCO is operating under the law. And under the law, the dispute, the contestation about Ruto's victory ended with the Supreme Court, period. When Raila had taken the dispute, the impeachment in the streets, that was below law, above the law. Supra, if you wish. To return it under the law, under NADCO, is a big joke. And therefore the main issues of the day cannot be discussed under NADCO. And the issues people are raising today at Bomas can also not be managed. The formation of the team at Bomas, the structure in place, the time, the ecosystem, the infrastructure provided cannot accommodate all those issues that people are raising. And therefore, I want to beseech Kenyans. I want to ask the two political leaders in this country, Raila Odinga and William Ruto. You have seen with your own eyes, you have heard with your own ears that Kenyans desire to have a conversation about their country. That Kenyans are raising issues way above the issues that you people wanted to discuss. Way above the issues of Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Way above Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Kenyans are desirous of looking at their country holistically. They want to discuss about governance in this country. Kenyans want to address the political question in this country. Kenyans have burning issues. And we will all agree that NADCO is hardly the place to do that. I therefore implore William Ruto and Raila Odinga, because you are the leaders of this country, open up space for Kenyans. Let Kenyans discuss their country. Let Kenyans even just ventilate. History is beckoning. And if you look at the issues and how passionate some people are about the issues of counties, of constituencies, of governance, of women, these are not issues you can keep away. Kenyans will have to discuss them. And therefore, being clever and this thinking you can buy time will not work. My fear is that unless we create a forum where a national conversation can take place beyond NADCO, Kenyans may take things into their own hands. Because the pain of being a Kenyan, of the high cost of living, of the hunger and the unemployment and many other ills that are going on in this country will find expression in ugly instances. I shudder to imagine what would happen if Kenyans on their own, without reference to Raila Odinga, spilled into the streets of Nairobi and other major towns. Not to allow Kenyans to have a national conversation is to gag them. And gagging Kenyans is like trying to stop River Nile as it flows to Egypt. The consequences may be too bad to contemplate. And therefore, today, I urge Raila Odinga and William Ruto to look at NADCO, look at Bomas, and look at what Kenyans seem to want, and to open up space. Let's abandon this NADCO business. Let us create a national conversation. Let's have a really Kenyan Bomas. Let's create the structure and the forum for Kenyans to have a national dialogue, a national conversation beyond the limiting space that is the bipartisan talk.